Guys, I want you to forget the headlines right now. The real crisis in America right now is the cost of living. Groceries are up, rent is up, gas, healthcare, insurance, everything costs more. The politicians keep telling us the economy is fine. It's fine. Meanwhile, working Americans are doing the math and falling behind. Inflation is crushing our families, retirees and blue collar workers. It's hitting them the hardest, guys. Why is the economy becoming the number one political issue in the next election? I don't know. Trump says a strong leadership, energy dependence, and America's first economic policy can turn this around. Others say just be patient. Meanwhile, we don't have time to be patient, guys. But patient doesn't pay the bills. So what I want to hear from you, what's gotten more expensive for us this year? I don't know. Seems like everything. What do you think the economy is actually working for regular Americans, or do you think it's working against us? Drop your comments in the below, please, because I need to hear this from other people. Guys, we got to get this under control. It's hitting us all hard. At the pump, at the grocery store, it's hitting us everywhere.
I've been thinking about something, and I genuinely mean no disrespect by this. But I am seeing a whole lot of 20-something-year-old people complaining about how expensive everything is, and they are just struggling to afford anything. My question is, who told you that at 25, 27 years old, that you're going to be financially stable and living comfortably? When I was that age, I swear to God, I lived off ramen noodles for like 3 years straight. I drove a 20-year-old truck with 4 different tires that wouldn't even start on Tuesdays. It took a long time to get financially stable. I mean, I was almost 40 years old before I didn't have to worry about money anymore. It is completely normal for young people in their early 20s to be broke and struggling to get by. This is nothing new, no matter what the economy is. Then I'm sorry if that offends you, but it's the truth.
Let's be honest for a second. The real crisis in America right now isn't political drama, culture wars, or whatever headline they're pushing this week. It's the cost of living. And what makes people feel like they're losing their minds is the disconnect between what we're being told and what we're actually experiencing. We're told the economy is fine. We're told to be patient. We're told inflation is cooling. But meanwhile, everyday Americans are standing in grocery store aisles doing mental math like it's a hostage negotiation. This isn't about wanting luxury. This is about wanting a basic, functional life that doesn't require constant financial triage.
How is anyone affording anything? Because everything is fucking expensive. It's like looking at Zillow and there's like a 2-bedroom townhouse that's a fixer-upper and it's like $875,000. Get bent! Or you're paying like $1,200 a month for some shitty Honda that like screams when you start the engine. Like, I don't understand. And like concert tickets, I know I've mentioned this before, but they're like $600 just to like sit behind a pole. But if you want like a decent area where you can breathe the same air as the freaking stage, it's like $900. What the fuck? Or like all these people are going on these lavish vacations to like Greece or like Ireland. What? Or like kids' sports fees, they're like $300 and you get like some shitty polyester jersey and you don't even get shorts, it's just the jersey. Is this real life? So I'm convinced either one of a few things is happening. People are selling their feet for money, they're freaking selling plasma, they're literally selling nose nachos, or they're married to someone super wealthy, because I have no idea how the hell anyone is affording to live right now.
I'm going to explain to you guys how much more expensive things are today than they were even 3 years ago based off of my current financial situation. So 4 years ago, when I graduated law school, I graduated making $65,000 a year. I was living in a 1-bedroom by myself, paying $1,400 a month. After the first 3 months, my boyfriend moved in, and so then we were splitting it, so it was $700 a piece. But he lost his job at one point, and so for 3 months before he got a new one, I was covering the rent all by myself. So it was about 6 months of me paying $1,400 a month for that year-long lease. Now I make about $85,000 a year. I have 2 roommates, and we split the rent 3 ways. And usually my rent is like $950, something around that. So I'm making technically $20,000 more a year. I'm paying roughly the same of what I was paying in rent. And I have never been more stressed out about money in my entire life.
So genuine question for the people that have to feed more than one person every single day. How are you affording groceries? How are you affording groceries? Because I just did my grocery shopping for the week. It's like 10 p.m. I had a doctor's appointment, could drive for a few hours. Anyway, I'm just getting to it. I got like 3 bags worth of groceries, $41.59. for like the bare minimum essentials. I don't understand how people are paying for groceries when you have multiple people to feed. Like, especially in Utah, when you have like 4, 5, 6, 7 kids, and a lot of these families only have one income. How are you affording this stuff? Because like for me, I'm chilling, but I also am only just me. It's one person. Like, if I ever want to have kids, how am I going to make the grocery prices work? It genuinely keeps me up at night, but I don't know. Please let me know I'm not the only one that stresses about this.
Want to know how I know grocery prices still are up? Jax, 3 for $11? Please. You know I was raised by a single mom. I know those bitches were 5 for $10. What are you doing, America?
I'm super curious. How much is everybody spending in groceries each month? We're probably doing about $1,700 a month. It's nuts.
Is anybody else sick of these grocery bills? Because I just spent $80 at Trader Joe's. I still have to buy food like to eat for dinner for the week at a regular grocery store. That's going to cost me over $100. So this is out of control. Prices are ridiculous. I don't even know what I bought at Trader Joe's. Can you guys relate? Because why are prices so expensive?
I was at Costco yesterday doing like an average restock, and I was absolutely floored at the price of deodorant. Mind you, this is Costco, a place that is well recognized for having really good, fair prices. I was not prepared, and I literally did not even put it in the car. I was like, this is actually crazy. I will find somewhere else to get deodorant. But I was thinking to myself, like, for a second, I was like, maybe that is a good deal. And I was like, no, when did deodorant become $8 to $10 a stick? Like, I remember when deodorant was $4 to $5 a stick, and now it's like almost common and reasonable that it's $8 or more dollars. Like, I'm not even talking about the fancy shit, like just regular ass deodorant. $8 to $10. Is that not insane?
Having apartments that cost like $2,000 a month should be fucking illegal, because why is it that they expect you to make 3 times the rent, which comes out to like $6,000, but most people don't even make that in an entire month? An apartment shouldn't be a luxury. It should be a basic need.
It ain't no way that renting an apartment is this expensive now. Like, what's really going on, bro? Like, the market for apartments is crazy. Not even just apartments, like houses, all that. It's like the norm is like $2,500. Like, what's really going on? How do y'all expect people to get through the week? Just like, I don't get it. Like, bro, I feel bad if you ain't working right now or something. Like, it is crazy. Like, and then it be the apartments that don't even be nothing special about it. It ain't them high-rise apartments. It's the simple one bathroom, 2 bedrooms, living room, and that's it. Like, at the end of the day, bro, the something gotta shake. A reality check has to come in play. Like, I don't know what's been going on these last couple of years, but I don't like it. Like, bro, you can't even tell nobody, like, yeah, I'm gonna move out and I get 18 and get a man. That's damn near throwing them to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? Like, how motherfuckers be like, your parents be like, hey, you gotta move out when you get 18. I wish motherfucker would tell me if I was 18 right now, move out. You gotta let me get some time to understand what's going on. Like, these apartments are so expensive. And that ain't even groceries, cleaning products, clothes. Like, to the new generation, life is life. And you remember that teacher's always like, yeah, once you graduate, you're going to see how life is. No, life is really life. And I'm telling you, life is real.
Okay. Serious question real quick. How are we supposed to afford life? I have 3 kids. And my husband and I both have full-time incomes, and I still am puzzled. Like, it's an enigma. Like, for real, why? I just left Walmart and got the bare minimum for groceries, like bare minimum, and cheap stuff. Baby, we ain't eating salmon and steak, baby. We eating Hamburger Helper, some Doritos, like, we getting like the Dino Nuggies, okay? Great Value brand. Now, I did get 3 pairs of kids' shoes because my kids are starting back to school and they need some new sneakers. But tell me why I got the bare minimum in groceries and 3 pairs of sneakers, and I'm coming out just shy of $300. There's no way. This is crazy. Like, I had children on the understanding that if I worked hard and put my pennies away, that we would be okay. And now I'm feeling not okay. And then my intrusive thoughts just come in and they start thoughting, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I have 3 kids that are all very close together, which means they're all going to be in college at the same time. How in the world am I supposed to send them to college? Now, don't get me wrong. I know that, like, it's completely normal for people to just take out student loans and do all that, but I was lucky enough that my mother paid my way through college semester by semester, like the strong single mom she is, by making sacrifices because she didn't want me to have all that debt. And while I am not naive enough to know that I may not be able to do that for 3 children, I still hope to be able to help, you know, ease that burden. And I'm like, huh? How? Literally how? Mama, I don't know how much harder mama can hustle, okay? Mama is making the moolah, and the moolah is not spreading thinly, and I can't make it reach all corners. That's crazy.
So what happens if nobody can afford anything? If prices keep going up like they have in the past 5 years, what happens in 5 more years if they keep going up at the same rate? I've seen so many stories from around the world of housing has doubled in this city, or electric bills have tripled in this city. At what point can nobody afford anything? I honestly feel like we're already there. So many more countries are dealing with homeless crises. You hear more and more about cities just becoming absolutely unaffordable. All while there's less and less jobs. Applying for jobs takes years at this point, and if there are any jobs left, they're being taken by robots. So what's going to happen? Seriously, we have to be on the verge of something, right? I mean, it cannot trend this way forever. I just went to the grocery store and bought 4 things and it cost me $25. A single cabbage cost me $14 in Florida in the United States of America. It was a fairly large cabbage that made a lot of kimchi, but nonetheless, one vegetable should not be costing $14. I've completely stopped eating meat. I'm a vegetarian now because I can't afford meat. It's just also exhausting. I don't have the answers, and I'm hoping maybe you do. Or what do you think's gonna happen? Because at this rate, I think nobody's gonna have anything in a very short time. And I find that very scary.
If you're a Gen Z man, ages 18 to 25, and you never had a relationship before, then who cares? Because 75% of other Gen Z men have never had a relationship either. So you ain't really missing out on much.
I really don't understand how almost my entire generation has basically lost interest in dating. Well, yes, I do understand. Like, I've heard the male loneliness epidemic. I've heard the things women have to say about men. But in all reality, a lot of these issues are just occurring because there are so many less gender rules now. So then everybody has their own preconceived notion about what the man they're looking for is, what the woman they're looking for is. And this is going to line up with very few other people on what they expect from a partner. So yeah, it may be a little bit more difficult to find somebody that is agreeing with you and what you're wanting in a relationship. But doesn't that make it even more special when you do find that? When you do find somebody who lines up with not only what you want a woman to be, but also what she wants a guy to be? Because this still exists. Unless you are just not a good human being, there are going to be people who want what you want. But the issue is people have just given up with looking. So now there aren't people who want what you want because nobody's looking for it. And yes, I've heard people say, well, nothing is better than something that's bad, which I guess is true, but like, wouldn't you just rather try to find something that's good? I don't know. Explain down below if you know this, because I'm really lost at why this is happening.
I don't know what the answer is to this, but it's so fucking bad. We don't make enough money. Collectively, we do not make enough money.
Our money is not going as far as it used to go. Home prices, tuition prices, like the way everything has gone up and they're paying us the same amount of money is insane.
I no longer want to live in this world that asks for so much and gives so little in return. 9 to 5, climb the corporate ladder. Bullshit. 2 weeks off a year. Bullshit. White picket fence dream. Bullshit. Retirement age 65, if you even make it that far. Bullshit.
The older I get, the more I feel like the cost of goods and services have gone up, yet the quality and service has nosedived into the fucking ground, and I'm tired of it.
We are being priced out of livelihood. As someone living in America right now, I can't help but shake this feeling of hopelessness of the fact that they are trying to push us out. We are far beyond telling people that they need to find a new job or they need to make more money, because we have a system right now that is literally fighting tooth and nail to make that not happen. The average person is literally suffering.
I don't know if I can do this for the rest of my life. Like, I genuinely get emotional thinking about it, because like I feel like I used to have so much like joy and spark and creativity, and I just don't have that now. I genuinely feel like I'm just a warm body in a desk chair occupying space, and like everything I do day to day doesn't matter.
I'm not hustling for money at work anymore. I'm not doing it anymore.
I'm tired of it.
There is no greater frustration than knowing that money is not real. That money is a figment of our fucking imagination. It is pulled out of fucking thin air, yet it is this insanely powerful force over my life.
People are not happy here. People are not living their dreams. People are not living their life. They are working, thinking that their work is their life. It is not. America needs to make a change. Something needs to change because people are not happy here.
And this system is set up to fail. And I'm just infuriated by it. I can't get ahead. Every month I try to get ahead and I can't get ahead. And I don't know how to cope with that. Everything is so expensive. If you are experiencing the same thing, you're so not alone. And
what the fuck are we doing on this earth, man? Every day, most of us wake up and go to a job that we really don't fucking like, but we can't really quit because we got to get the money to pay the bills that they say is important to pay. What the fuck is the point of this life, man? We go to grocery stores and buy food that God gave us for free. Why the fuck did we pay for lights? Well, that's just the way it is. Fuck you. I'm tired of all this "that's just the way it is" bullshit. This whole fucking system is garbage. America ain't nothing but a big ass fucking plantation, man. A big ass fucking plantation. What the fuck are we doing here? There are days I don't want to be on this earth. And I'm not saying I want to unalive myself and nothing like that. But I'm tired, man. It's like, what the fuck is the point of any of this? To work till we 60, 70 years old? Most of us ain't gonna fucking live to see 50. But we gotta work to maybe retire? Man, fuck you and all that bullshit, man. I don't give a fuck about who president, left, right, and all this dumbass shit. I'm tired of this whole fucking game, man. It's a big ass game. It's a big ass charade. America is a fucking plantation. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say about it, man. This shit is exhausting. Like, I don't even want to look for another job. I'm gonna walk in there, they gonna ask me, why do you even want this job? Bitch, because I need some fucking money to pay the bills that they tell me is important to pay. Get the fuck out of here.
What's wild is how universal this has become. It doesn't matter where you live, how old you are, or what industry you're in, everyone's saying the same thing. Groceries cost too much. Rent is out of control. Insurance feels like a scam you're legally required to participate in. People aren't splurging, they're buying the bare minimum and still walking out shocked. You grab 3 bags of food and somehow it's $50. You don't even remember what you bought. It's not steak and wine, it's cereal, eggs, chicken, paper towels. Essentials that used to feel boring now feel expensive enough to stress over. And when families say they're spending over $1,000 a month just to eat at home, that's not bad planning. That's inflation quietly eating people alive.
And motherfuckers keep cheering about this goddamn $2,000 stimulus check. Fuck that shit. Bitch, change the cost of living. Lower the fucking cost of living, bitch. You want to give us that $2,000, bitch, I want you to lower the cost of living. Lower the food, lower the rent, lower every fucking thing, bitch, because that $2,000 gonna be gone by tomorrow. Soon all these folks get their $2,000, by the end of the week, all that shit gonna be gone. Fuck that. I want the cost of living to go back to what the fuck it was.
My rent just went from $1,360 to $3,900 a month. Also, I'm sick. Happy spring equinox.
People are clearly delusional in America if they don't think that there's a problem with the fact that to be able to rent an apartment, you have to make at least 3 times the income. You realize that if most people made 3 times the income, they probably wouldn't be renting. And the people who are saying, well, maybe you shouldn't want such a luxurious bougie apartment. Most people aren't looking for the most fabulous apartment. They just want somewhere safe. I'm sorry that safety is apparently now a luxury in America. Frankly, our job market is absolutely cooked. People are making bare minimum, not able to pay their groceries, their bills, anything, but you want them to make 3 times the amount of rent to be able to qualify to get an apartment. This whole side hustle culture, making it like a flex to work like 3 jobs, that's not a flex, that's exhausting. Have you heard of burnout, depression, anxiety? Because like we all got it, and this is why.
You know, the more and more time go by, paying $2,000-$3,000 a month to live somewhere for 30 days don't sound good to me. $3,000 a month for 30 days. Ain't that $100 a day? That's a hotel. Y'all scared me. Good night.
A common conversation about New York City that people like to talk about is how much money does it take to live here? And I think it's honestly a pretty tough question to answer because it's more based on the answer is really based on you and the lifestyle you're willing to live. So for some people, making $150K a year is not going to be enough. It's not going to cut it for the lifestyle they want to live. But if you're look, man, I don't have to live in Manhattan and I'm willing to have 4 roommates. Sorry, sirens, New York City, you get it. But if you're willing to have 4 roommates and live in, I don't know, Jamaica, Queens, you can probably live in New York. It just depends what kind of lifestyle you live. I have friends that they live in Queens, probably a 15-minute subway ride into Manhattan, and they pay $2,000 a month. It's kind of they're like a dog with a rag. They never let it go. They're so tough that they're kind of they have AC, they don't live in a big place, and it's a couple, but they're paying $2,000 a month on rent in New York City, which is, you can equate that to, I've been in Birmingham, Alabama, I've been in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, that's very comparable, but if you're I have to live in West Village and have a 1-bedroom all by myself, then and you're making $50K a year, you can't live in New York. But my friends, they definitely don't make over $100K together. And they live in New York. It's really more about what kind of lifestyle are you willing to live? Are you going out every weekend? Do you have to have drinks every single day? Are you going shopping all the time? I mean, it really depends what kind of lifestyle you're willing to live. And honestly, if you're hard-headed enough, anybody can live in this city. There are people that live in this city that, fill in the blank how much money you make, there's somebody here that makes less money than you and lives here. Obviously there's homeless people, but that's obviously not what I'm talking about. There are normal people that 100%, they make $30K a year and they live in New York City, but you just have to be that person. You just have to be determined, how much money do you want to save? If you're I gotta save whatever, $2,500 every single month, it's probably not going to happen. That's the lifestyle you want. Probably not if you're making $50K. But if you're willing to make the sacrifices and you're I want to live in New York, you can. It's just a matter of the reality of you turning it into your own reality, basically.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
Personally, I'm not. I had to move out of San Diego. I'm from Southern California, but it's too expensive. Even with full-time work, I had 2 full-time jobs, working on the weekends and at night and in the morning. I still couldn't save up enough money for a deposit for a studio apartment or anything, frankly. So I had to make a change. Right there is the border wall with Mexico and the United States. One side is San Diego, one side is Tijuana. Now I live on the Tijuana side. While the difference is only 2 blocks, I have a substantially cheaper cost of living. Currently, I'm renting a studio apartment for about $100 a week. I've seen comparable priced places going as far as a 2-bedroom with the same price point, $400 or $500 a month. The same kind of place in San Diego, 2 blocks away, would cost you upwards of $1,500 to $2,000 or $3,000. To go to work, I cross the border in the morning. A few times a week, I do Amazon Flex shifts, and in about 2 full-time days, I pay my rent for the month. The thing is, I don't go every day because it's kind of a headache. So while I technically earn less, I have a greater purchasing power, effectively. So 5 months ago, basically, I moved to Tijuana and went from being full-time employed with 2 jobs, living in my van for years because I couldn't save the deposit, to having an apartment and having transportation and a pretty decent paying job relative to my cost of living. But isn't it dangerous? Isn't it unsafe? Yeah, a little bit, it can be. But literally, as I'm saying that, the police roll by, there's constantly a presence, so it does feel a little bit safe for that reason. Living in your car is not safe either. Being in your car is you're harassed all the time. You're bothered by strangers trying to steal your stuff. That's not a good life either. So while it's not a perfect solution, it's a solution for now, and it works, and I've improved my quality of life by moving 2 blocks. Follow for more about the cost of living in Mexico.
$94,000 a year is considered low income in Orange County, California. My dad used to fund a whole family of 6 with a $100K salary and a non-working wife.
Living on $1,200 a month should be
out loud. Like, the very fact that there are people in America in 2024 that's living on $1,200 a month and that's all that they get is absolutely insane to me. But it's only one way they're doing it, and I'm gonna tell you about how. The income that people are receiving for $1,200 a month is Social Security. And according to this article, they're saying that Social Security is expected to run out in 2035. Now, while that sounds like a long time away, I remember when I was a kid and I used to see on the news, because my grandma would always watch the news. I remember they would be on TV and like the Republicans would be like, you guys better stop your spending and be more responsible, talking to like Congress. And they'd be like, you're mortgaging our kids' future. And I was thinking to myself, oh, okay, well, the future is now. I'm the kid, clearly. But the people that are receiving Social Security that's only getting $1,200 a month are managing to live because of one reason. Now, I hate to state the obvious, but y'all, they're homeowners. And I know it's really cool right now to get on the internet and talk about, oh, well, it'll never be your house if you gotta have property taxes and you gotta pay insurance. It's ridiculous. Well, baby, let me tell you something. If I was making $1,200 a month, I would definitely be more comfortable spending $300 a month on property taxes than $2,000 or more on principal, interest, taxes, and insurance if I buy a house late in life and or rent. So America was built on this promise that if you work for so many years, you were supposed to end up getting three things when you retire: pension, 401k, and Social Security. Well, pension ain't really a thing no more. 401k is kind of hit or miss now. So then that leaves Social Security, which goes back to the $1,200 a month that I was talking about. Now, I don't know if y'all know how much Social Security is, but that's really seriously a real number. It's hardly ever $2,000 a month. But the other part of that was, one, you're supposed to have a paid off house. So that was going to drastically reduce your expenses. And the other part that people still don't talk about is the fact that you were supposed to be sharing all of these bills and debt with a spouse. Because when your spouse dies, you get their Social Security. So anyway, I say all of that to say, what is your plan? And when I say what is your plan, I say so very seriously, because I get it. When you 25, 30, you might not see it. But when you hit 41 and you don't own no house, 51, you don't own no house, 61, and you don't own a house. Like, how are you going to seriously afford your life if you can't even scrape up money for a down payment?
Make sure that you have at least $1,000 in your savings account. The reason why you want to make sure you have at least $1,000 is because it puts you in a security energy. When you are in survival mode, it affects how you look. It affects your magnetism. It affects how you come across to other people even. You don't have any money in your savings account at all. It affects you on a physical, spiritual, and mental level. Like, you are always in survival mode. You're not even thinking about looking nice or anything like that. You are just trying to get to the next level. When you have at least $1,000 in your savings account, it gives you a little bit of breathing room. So if you have to save just $25 every single time you get paid, or anytime somebody sends you some money, just put that in your savings account. Put that in a separate account. Anytime you come across some money, just save $25. When you get $1,000, it is going to feel like an accomplishment. I have been there before. Trust me, I have been there, and I understand how it feels to be in survival mode. But when you get your first $1,000 in your savings account, you feel so much better about yourself. You feel so much better about life. You feel a little bit more secure. And of course, you should always aim for more money in your savings account, but that first $1,000 does make a difference. It feels better. It's something about the energy of it. I read this book called The Energy of Money, and money absolutely does have an energy. When you do not feel good about yourself, about your situation, it's harder to be in a magnetism energy. You want to be attracting things. You want to be a magnet and everything is coming to you. But when you are in survival mode, your energy is releasing and you are looking for things and they are running from you.
Gen Z and millennial men kept the toxic masculinity of boomers, but lost the ability to do anything handy or be useful in any way. Tell me why you have the irritability of someone who has a full-time job, but you're unemployed and can't even put a nail in the wall. Make it make sense.
Trump supporter from Indianapolis here, and I just want to say that our gas prices are not down. They are higher. Comment and tell me where you're from and tell me if your gas prices are higher or lower. I'm tired of the lies.
Then comes the generational debate, because it always shows up. You're supposed to be broke in your 20s. I ate ramen. I struggled too. And sure, struggle isn't new, but context matters. Ramen used to cost pocket change. Rent didn't take half your income. Wages weren't completely disconnected from reality. Back then, the struggle phase had an expiration date. Now people are in their late 20s, early 30s, making more money than they ever have and still feel financially unstable. That's the difference. It's not that young people are entitled, it's that the math has changed and the timeline people were promised no longer exists. And that's where the confusion kicks in, because everyone looks around and thinks, how is anyone affording anything? Concert tickets cost more than a car payment. Apartments cost as much as a mortgage used to. Kids' activities cost hundreds of dollars. Cars are financed like luxury items. Yet social media is full of vacations, new clothes, and aesthetic lifestyles. So people start joking. Are folks selling plasma, selling feet pics, drowning in credit card debt, or secretly rich? But underneath the jokes is something darker, a sense that either you're failing at adulthood or everyone else is quietly drowning too. And honestly, it's probably the second one. Housing is where the system really exposes itself, because when a basic apartment costs $2,500 a month and demands 3 times the rent to qualify, it's not about budgeting anymore. It's about exclusion. These places aren't luxury. They're not high-rise dream apartments. They're basic units priced like status symbols. Housing used to be the foundation of stability. Now it's the biggest source of stress. And when shelter alone consumes most of your income, everything else becomes optional. Savings, joy, rest, even health. That's why people are moving back home, stacking roommates, leaving cities, or completely reworking their lives just to stay afloat. Not because they want to, because the system leaves them no choice. The most unsettling part isn't even how expensive life is right now. It's the question nobody wants to answer. What happens if this keeps going? If costs double again in 5 years? If wages stay stagnant while necessities keep climbing? At what point does society hit a wall where working full-time simply isn't enough to live? That's why the tone online has shifted from frustration to exhaustion. People aren't just annoyed, they're burnt out, disillusioned, and emotionally tapped. This isn't laziness, it's what happens when effort stops being rewarded.